Morning, folks. Thanks for coming. My name is Matthew Skelton, and I've been organising this event today and also Assembly Conference, which we'll cover off in a bit. It's good to be here as part of Leeds Digital Festival. Before we go any further, you'll find a leaflet on your on the seat, or next to you, or underneath you. And so this event today is a kind of precursor event to Assembly Conference, which will be a one-day conference held in Leeds on October the 2nd, 2018, not far from here, the other side of the city, where we'll bring together speakers. We've got speakers lined up from Bosch, Rexroth, Dyson, electronics companies, and so on, to come together and explore in much more detail some of the things that we'll start to cover today. And the tickets are not quite yet on sale, but they will be after this event today. And obviously, we'll send you a message if you're interested to get tickets. There'll probably be a discount code for people who've attended today. So the schedule for today looks a bit like this. We've got 3 talks to start with, to set the scene and to spark some ideas. We have a little bit of coffee, and then from about 11 o'clock, we'll have opportunity for some discussions, and we've got some machines at the back for you to try out. Try your hand at coding, if you've not done that before, and some other things as well. So it gives us an opportunity to have a slightly more informal discussion that hasn't. We'll see what topics come out basically a little bit later. So the 3 talks, I'll give a kind of introductory talk. My background is in software systems, so I want to kind of bring to bear what I think are some of the things that we've learned from the past sort of 20 years worth of building software, and what that can bring to a manufacturing and making context. The second talk will be by Claire Garside from Foundation for Digital Creativity, and she'll be talking about what the FDC is doing in terms of digital skills in this area, working with children and other people to bridge what is quite a substantial digital skills gap. And the third talk will be from Imran Shafkat, who's from a company called Thingtrax, who are doing amazing things with digitalisation of manufacturing. And he's actually got a device as well he can he's brought with him to show what that looks like. So those are the kind of 3 angles. All right, those are 3 angles that we're looking at: software making and manufacturing. And I've prepared some topics for discussion for later on. We'll come back to this slide later at 11 o'clock. But just to get you thinking while you're listening to the talks, here are some things that we might talk about at 11 o'clock. So what skills do we need to make digital effective in manufacturing and making? Intellectual property around Internet of Things. What's the effect of open source? We're from a region that has a strong history in making clothing. So wearables is a big thing that we should think about. How does that affect us? And what's needed. There's lots of making happening around this region. There's been a big history, not just of clothing manufacture, but making all sorts of things on a small scale, but then manufacturing on a larger scale. How do we join those things together? That could be something that could be interesting to talk about. And maybe something missing in the LCR Leeds City region. Maybe there's some forum missing, or there's something that we can do to bring together people in a better way. I don't know. These are suggestions. These are the kind of things that I think we might look at, but when we get to 11 o'clock, we'll have a chance to just suggest some other questions as well, and then we'll just prioritise and sort of vote on which subjects we think are best to discuss. Any questions at this point in terms of what we'll do today? By 12 o'clock, we'll have lunch here. Hopefully it's arrived slightly before then, so we can start having lunch before then, and then we'll basically wrap up around 12 o'clock. If lunch arrives close to 12, there's space downstairs in the mezzanine area for you to take your lunch downstairs and eat it there, so we're out of here. Okay.